Welcome to the Virgin Diet Lifestyle Show with your host, celebrity nutrition and fitness expert and New York Times bestselling author, JJ Virgin.
What if you could trick yourself into making better choices simply by shifting the way you think about things a bit? Now, let's think about this. We're ruled by habits, mindlessly making the same choices every day. And it's these choices, the decision to add the milk to your coffee, to have the afternoon snack pack or two, to have that treat after dinner or not, that make the big difference. After all, it's not the once-a-year birthday cake that's taking you down. I'm all about making simple shifts. In the Sugar Impact Diet, I have you shift from high sugar impact choices to lower ones. In the Virgin Diet, I have you swap the 7 foods that could be holding your health hostage for healthier options. And in this show, I'm going to give you some simple strategies, some easy shifts to trick you into better eating habits. Now, first off, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. And here are a few ways that you can use this. First of all, never, ever put out a candy dish. Oh my gosh, it's just like that little candy dish is going to go, come here, come here. And when you serve the dinner plates, put away anything that you shouldn't be taking seconds of. At a restaurant, the way you can do this is if you get your dinner and you know you only want to eat half of something, get the doggy bag and put that away before you even get started. Do not make this hard on yourself. And remember, size matters, especially with your serving dishes. Now, if you shrink your plate, you'll shrink what you eat. Same with skinnier glasses. You'll drink less. So, if you're drinking water, let's get really big glasses though, right? And same with serving platters. So look in your, and this is, by the way, amazing, look in your cabinets. Turns out that the houses in the 50s actually had narrower cabinets than we do now. We used to have smaller plates. We used to have smaller serving platters. We used to be smaller. Just saying. Okay. Now, next thing I want you to do is I want you to finish last. I want you to be the last one at the table to finish eating. One of the ways you can do this is actually put your fork down in between bites. If you find that you've got this death grip on your fork, relax, put it down. Or better yet, eat with chopsticks. Now, one of the things that you can do too, if you find that you're losing it while you're doing this, stop, get up, go to the bathroom, have a chat with yourself, regroup. And one other thing that you want to do is eat with slow pokes. If you find that you're a fast eater, find some slow pokes, go sit down with them. And you'll watch that you're going to naturally start to pace yourself with them. Okay, now another big one is don't invite the enemy to the table, to the house, to your party. Because after all, willpower is a joke. You know, you think, I will get that ice cream because I've got willpower. I'm not going to eat it. That's crazy. I would never do that to myself. It's just mean. The other thing you want to make sure you're doing is avoiding your trigger foods. Now, here's the deal. Too much healthy food, it's unhealthy. So even though almond butter is healthy, a jar of almond butter is not, right? So figure out what those things are that you lose your mind with and don't bring them into the house. And you know what I'm talking about here because we've all got 1 or 10. Right? One of the places I see people lose their mind is at the movies. I've heard people say, you know what? I can't even go to the movies without eating popcorn. How do you do that? So here's how you do that. You go to the movies and you don't bring any money for popcorn. Just bring money for the movie ticket. Leave the rest, keep it at home, lock it in the car. Can't get popcorn if you don't have any cash for it, right? Same with if you're going into that morning coffee and you feel like you need to have the muffin, it's a cupcake, right? Just bring exactly what you need for the coffee. Don't bring the extras for the treats. Okay, here's one that was interesting because Brian Wansink did a cool study on this where he showed that if you left the romaine sitting out there, which seems kind of gross, right? But you actually ate less because it gave you a visual cue of what you were up to, what you've already consumed. So he did a study with chicken wings. And in one of them, he took the chicken wings away after people were done. And one, he just let them pile up. And when he let them pile up, people were like, oh my gosh, I've eaten that many chicken wings, right? So they chilled out on it. The big place I see this happening is at those parties where they're just pouring you a little more wine and a little more wine and a little more wine, and all of a sudden you turn around and you're like, oh my gosh, you don't even have a clue how much you've had. And then, if you've had a lot of wine, you're going to have a lot of other stuff too. So a good rule of thumb there is do not let them fill up your glass of wine until you've actually finished the glass. Then when you have, before you have the next glass of wine, have two glasses of water. All right, another thing I want you to do is I want you to work for it. Again, another study by Brian Wansing showed that if the Hershey's Kisses were set at your desk, you ate more than if they were set at a desk just 6 feet away. I mean, isn't that crazy that you actually had to get up and go get it? But you had to think about it. I like to apply this to things like pistachios. Heck, if you have shelled pistachios versus pistachios in the shell, you're going to eat a lot less when you actually have to shell them. Artichokes, another great one. You really have to work for an artichoke. And then think of things like soups and salads that take a long time to eat and are very nutrient dense and calorie poor. We like that. And I'll tell you, I employ this one with my shakes. And my mantra is start the day with a shake. If you're on the Virgin Diet, it's a Virgin Diet shake. If you're on the Sugar Impact Diet, it's a Sugar Impact shake. It's actually the same shake. And what I do, how I make my shakes, is I actually make my shake more like a smoothie mousse. I eat it with a spoon. So I put in some avocado, some extra fiber. I use my all-in-one shake mix, and I make it really thick, and I eat it with a spoon. So you can try that one too, because it's actually, for me, I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm eating something. Now, you're at a party. Let's think about this. Why are we eating before we eat? You look at a party and they've got these appetizers. What I see with people with appetizers, most of those little appetizers, they are not innocuous. They have 100 to 200 calories. You eat more than you would have sat down and ate at dinner before you even sat down to eat dinner. You're full before dinner. So here's what you do. Do not eat standing up, ever. Only eat while seated when you have a plate that you're managing. So when you're at the party, while you're standing up, keep your hands full. Then you can't pick up the appetizers, and don't let someone put one in your mouth, all right? So gals, that's a clutch and a drink, and guys, it's a phone and a drink, and that's it. Full hands, no appetizers. Sit down to eat and never stand up. Now, I know I just gave you a load of tips, so here's how to make sure that you put them into action. Pull out your daily food journal, which is your number one ally in making sure that you're successful on a program, and decide which strategy you're going to start with and put it into practice. Now, once that one becomes second nature, then go on to the next one and nail that one. This is going to become your new way of living that's going to reinforce healthier eating. And if you eat and live like a healthy, lean person, you're going to become one. To get more of my mindful eating tips in a great handout that you can post on your fridge as a reminder, text 58885 and enter JJMind, space, your first name, space, and your email address. Again, you text to 58885 and enter JJMind, space, your first name, space, and your email address. In the Sugar Impact Diet, I help you clear up the confusion around sugar and take back the control that sugar has over your life. In just 2 weeks, you'll lose your sweet tooth and shrink your waistline. Why wait? Start those 2 weeks today.
Hey everyone, did you like this episode? Be sure to subscribe for the next one and tell a friend. If you like world-class training and cutting-edge information, visit thevirgindiet.com.